With the what are you playing there, Master Nature? What the F? What the F? Anyway, that's a shout out to some of my Lily there. Anyway, so this is just gonna be a prelude. This I'm probably gonna get this video taken down because, well, copyright music, you can't do that. But anyway, prelude. And this prelude is gonna be to the coup de grace. That's right. Coup de grace. Prelude to the coup de grace. All right. So, here we go. If DM now the opera singers are saying, wait a minute, she could be the other suspect. Oh, really? Well, yeah. We've already known that for like fucking 2 years. Hi. Now it's a big revelation. All right. No. Look, hang on. See, this is what he do. Okay. Number one, you put yourself at the crime scene. That's one. Put yourself at the crime scene. If you're in a hotel, you're going to say, I'm in a hotel. Okay? You're not going to put yourself at the crime scene. Okay. Again, 911 call. Why are you calling? Are you calling about a passed out roommate? Dylan gets on the phone and says, what does she say? She says, I don't really know. But let me just tell you what happened at 4 a.m. Okay. We know that. That's what she says. So, again, it goes back to then, okay, then why are you calling? See, Dylan doesn't want to talk about, why doesn't Dylan want to talk about the passed out roommate? Why doesn't she want to talk about that? The 911 operator's asking her about it. What is going on with your roommate right now? Do you see her? Is she passed out? Is she breathing? Is she fucking moving? But why does she say, I don't really know? Well, look, you're telling cops, you're telling people, I saw her. The judge says, well, Dylan said she saw her laying there against the wall, whatever. But then on the 911 call, you're not telling the operator any of this. Fuck, guys, Lily. Right? So then if you're so concerned about your roommate, who you saw passed out maybe twice, right? 2 times. Not moving, laying against the wall, the same position she's been in, then why aren't you even, you're not telling the 911 caller that, the 911 operator. No, you want to get into your story about the 4 a.m. bullshit. Because now this is, I'm trying to give you my cover story. I'm trying to give you my cover. That's my cover story. But see, DM's a little too, the problem with DM here is she's a little too anxious. Too anxious. She doesn't know how to wait. And that's why it's all fucking it's all discombobulated here. She's anxious. She's not waiting. What you need to do here, if you're trying to use your cover story, you have to give some information about, though, your roommate, because that's the whole reason why you're fucking calling. So you have to give some information in order for it to make sense. So what Dylan should have said was, so the 911 operator says, okay, what's going on with your roommate right now? Is she breathing? Is she passed out? Dylan should have said something like, she could have said, I don't really know, but this is what I saw. Okay, you can get away with that. But so you say something like, I think she might be passed out. I'm not really sure. I saw her earlier in the morning. It looked to me like she was passed out, but I'm not really sure. Okay, then fine. Then you can go into your cover a little bit. You can go into your cover and say, another thing though is that I saw somebody in the house last night as well. I saw somebody in the house I didn't recognize last night. That's at 4 a.m. So you get some of your cover out that way. But you still have to mention Xana, or else it doesn't fucking make any sense then. You have to mention her. Or else why are you calling me? But Dylan doesn't do that. She's anxious and she jumps. She forgets this part and she jumps right to, well, let me just tell you what happened at 4 a.m. Gets cut off. Now we're in limbo here. Now this whole thing is in limbo. Anyway, that's just a prelude to the coup de grace that will be coming later on today. Because I'm going to give you a coup de grace to end all fucking coup de graces here. That's the kind of New Orleans stuff we're talking about in 1905. Tyrone was still around in 1905 here. Okay. He floated a little too far away from home, ended up and down in New Orleans. Maybe I'll tell you the story about New Orleans sometime. That's a whole other trip, my lily. That's a whole other trip, my lilies. I think you might like it though, but anyway, 1905. But anyway, that's the interlude to the coup de grace. That's gonna be coming. All right, bye, lovelies. Oh, I hope you like a little T-Rex. My video probably gonna get taken down because of that. Because of copyright infringement. That's what they call it. Okay. That's what they call it up here in the Spiel Realm too. They say you can't copyright infringe somebody's harp music. Like if someone playing the harp, even though it all sounds the fucking same, don't matter what you're playing on the harp, it all sounds the fucking same. Just saying, it's a fucking harp. Ain't you're whatever. So anyway, same principle up here. As above, right? So below. And that includes copyright infringement. Okay. All right. Bye, lovelies. Tyrone love you always. Bye-bye.